Hello, I'm Jenna, and welcome to our Rosh Chodesh yoga flow. The Hebrew word for Chodesh is related to the word chidush, which means newness. And every new month, we have the opportunity to release the old, the stuckness, everything that's been holding us back, and invite in the newness. Under the new moon, everything and anything is possible. So we'll begin in a seated posture. If you can bring a prayer shawl or a blanket for our final relaxation at the end. And this is a ritualistic practice. So on the new moon, where we can put a crystal by the mat or your favorite element or any reminder to enter this month with intention and with higher attentiveness. So we'll start in a seated posture, and the moon cycle has 4 parts, and these parts correspond to the 4 parts of our breath. So the new moon is related to the very end of the exhale, so at the very bottom point where we're empty. And from there, the inhalation is a waxing. So the moon is growing into fullness. It's an inward and upward motion. The top of the inhale is when our lungs are full, the rib cage is expanded, the collarbones are wide, and this is the full moon phase, when we are full of breath, full of life. And inevitably, after the full moon, there's a waning period, so that letting go, the releasing, the exhalation is the waning. And then we meet again at the bottom of the exhale where we're empty, and the cycle continues. So we'll try this breath together. You can close your eyes and feel completely empty. And in this emptiness, full of possibility. This emptiness is also a grounding. The body is heavy, is supported with gravity on the earth. And the inhalation will feel that moon rising, filling up with life and energy. And linger at the top of the inhale, feeling the radiance of your full moon, your shining self. And exhale, a letting go, an emptying, descending down into your new moon stage. So we'll take a few breath cycles like this at your own pace, feeling the moon cycle within you. And we'll add on some movement to that. So on the inhale, we'll reach the hands up, that waxing moon. Feel the fullness at the top of the fingertips, your full moon phase. And exhale, letting go, palms in front of you, forehead to the ground. Empty out, bringing the pads of the fingertips to the side, feeling heavy, feeling the weight of gravity. And inhale, lifting up overhead, and like a wave, exhale, pour it out in front of you, forehead to the mat. Lifting out of that darkness, hands to the side. Inhale, sweep the hands up, sensing that moon above you, and exhale as you wave it down, forehead to the ground. Lengthening the spine, feeling the heaviness of the hips. And last one, pads of the fingertips down. Inhale, sweep the hands high like a full moon rising. And exhale, wave it down. Feeling that power of continuous change within you. So bring the hands to the knees and we'll circle all around the hips. Keeping that 4-part breath. And the cycles of the moon remind us that life is not linear. We're not just moving forward or back, but we're always moving in cycles. And breathing the other way. As you come back, feel the back of the heart expand. And as you come to the front, opening the front of the heart. Feeling the circle within you and the circles around you. And we'll come on to all fours. So spreading all 10 fingers, knees under the hips. And start to roll out the chest in circles. So imagine that you're rolling into a cylinder around the torso, or a vortex from the crown to the pelvis. We're not only moving in circles with the moon, but actually spirals. We're always going deeper and deeper with every phase. And circling the other way, rolling out the torso. And instead of cat-cow, which is more linear, let's just make some big sweeping circles with the hips. The new moon is a time to go inwards, leaving the external world and inviting yourself to explore your inner worlds. And other way, big sweeping circles to the other side. And there are no right or wrong movements. If any movement is calling you during this practice, the suggestion is to listen to the wisdom of the body. Everything I say is just an invitation, but really this is about listening to your body and your circles of change. We'll meet back on all fours. And stepping the right foot between the hands will sink the hips low. The new moon, there's a heavy gravitational pull. So feeling that earth quality of the hips, the feet sinking down into the ground beneath you. Feeling safe and secure in this earth spot beneath you. And walking the hands back, lifting the toes, hugging the right hip in and pushing out that right heel. Fold forward over the right leg. Lifting heart to the tops of the toes, softening the shoulders away from the ears, and folding into yourself. So we're entering into this month with slowness. There's no rush. Let's luxuriate through all of our transitions today. Then walking the hands forward, sinking the hips. Planting the left palm and turning the torso to the right. You can bring that right hand on the inner knee. Walk the foot out to the right just to really deepen into the hips. And as you turn the torso to the right, perhaps the left leg lifts and you can hold on to the back of that foot. So kick into the right hand and notice how that shifts the weight from your left hand onto your right hand. Just playing with the gravitational pull. Sink a little deeper. Reconnect with the texture and cadence of your breath. And release the back leg. Sweep the right arm up and over, sinking the hips as you gaze forward. Now we'll lift up to a low lunge. So the right knee is right over that right heel. And bring the right hand onto the outer right hip and make a crescent moon shape as you dip to the right. Opening up that side body. Let the right shoulder go back and down. Feeling the structure and support of the legs and feet, and the openness and spaciousness from the hips up to the crown. Inhale the hands back up to a low lunge. And in yogic meditation, we draw awareness through the frontal lobes into the back brain. The solar channel is the front skull, whereas the back of the skull is the lunar, the moon. So can you imagine drawing awareness into the moon side of the skull, which is more about states of reflection, of contemplation. This is our dream-like state, more watery, more lucid. So feel that shining back of the skull. And exhale, palms to the mat. Slide the right knee down, back into your tabletop. And again, making cylinders with the torso, like you're creating a vortex from the hips spiraling up through the crown. From tabletop position, press down into all of the knuckles, feeling that grounding energy descending down into the earth. Then we'll step the left foot between the hands, come onto the pads of the fingertips as the hips sink down. Entering into your earth energy, shoulders are back. And we'll walk the hands back, flipping the toes up, folding forward over that left leg. Now keep that right foot planting down, shoulders drawing back away from the ears. Reconnecting with your breath. Lingering at the bottom of the exhalation, remembering this is our new moon phase. When we're empty, yet there's full of potential, full of life waiting to be revealed. And we'll walk the hands forward. Plant the right palm into the earth, turning the torso towards the left. The left hand can come onto the inner knee as you walk the foot out to the outer edge of the mat, even dipping onto the outer edge of the foot to really come into the twist. If it's in your mobility today, you can bend the right knee and hold on to the back of the foot. Kick into the hand and notice again how that weight shifts from the right palm back to the left palm. This new moon gives us a chance to really feel the gravitational pull, connecting with the earth. Lingering at the bottom of the exhale, feeling that momentary pause, being empty and ready to be filled again. Release the back foot. Sweep the left arm up and over. Bring that foot back to the middle of the mat. And inhale into a low lunge. So the left knee is right over the left heel. Reaching the fingertips high. And bring the left hand onto the outer left hip. Reach the right fingertips up and over, creating that crescent moon, opening the right side body, feeling the spaciousness and the opportunities when we don't just go front and back in a linear fashion, but we're open to change. New ways of moving. Inhale back up, fingertips high. Draw the awareness from the frontal lobes into the back of the skull, the moonlight shining behind the back of the skull, down the back of the heart. This place in us open to dreams, the watery glow of moonlight guiding us. Exhale, palms come into the earth. Slide the left knee back into all fours. And then we'll step the feet into a squat, heels in, toes wide, hands to the heart. And the cycles of the moon remind us to open ourselves up to circle consciousness. The lunar phases remind us about the circle, which represent supportiveness, equality, inter-inclusion, and being accepting of all the transformations we take in life. So in Kabbalah, we are constantly taught that there's energies that circulate around us. The sphirot, the divine energies around us. Also the elements, we have water to the right, left is the fire element, in front of us is the air, and behind us is the earth. We have God's four-letter name, the Yud being on the right, the He on the left, the Vav in front of us, and the He behind us. And the four seasons, just remembering as we circle around the mat today, instead of doing sun salutations, we'll be doing lunar cooling salutations. We will just remember all of the circles around us that unite us all. So looking towards the front, which is the more prominent place, we'll bring the hands in front of us, swivel the heels linear to the toes, and fold forward towards the front. Releasing the spine, releasing anything from the previous month that we don't want to bring with us. Softening as a way to let go and enter into the new month with an open, clear slate. Light bend in the knees as we inhale, rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae, sweeping the palms over the crown, lifting the gaze to the new moon above. Exhale, hands to the heart. Sweep the hands up, inhale, hold on to the right wrist, and we'll swing the right foot behind the left, squeeze the inner thighs together, make a crescent moon on the left. Opening that side body, which again represents the moon, spaciousness, the ability to find new ways of moving this month, new ways of being. Right heel back to center. Inhale the hands up. Hold on to the left wrist and sweep the left toes behind the right. Keep the heel lifted and then open the fingertips to touch. Crescent moon on the left side. Inviting a newness through the side body. Soften the gaze. And swing the left heel back around. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, dive forward into this new month with openness, with ease. Inhale, flat back, hands either to the shins or tops of thighs. Roll the shoulders away from the ears, lengthening the back neck. Feeling the back of the legs lengthen. And exhale, hands to the earth. We'll step back into a downward facing dog. Feel yourself in the center of the circle that we'll create. And bringing the feet to touch, Bottom of the exhale, linger. Inhale the right leg high behind you, bend the knee and open the hip. Gazing under that right forearm. And go ahead and roll out that ankle. Gazing up to the sky or sensing the new moon above you. And extend the leg for one-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest as you curve the spine. Press into the fingers. And then step the right foot between the hands. Left heel plants down. Inhale, we'll sweep the hands high overhead for warrior one. Right hand comes onto the hip. Just like we did at that low lunge, open the side body. Dipping to the right. Inhale the hands high. And exhale, open up, bringing the heels towards each other. Bring the palms towards the heart and sink down into temple pose. So the front of the palms represent the solar, so we'll bring the backs of the palms, the lunar side, to touch. And we'll drop the palms. Inhale, make a big moon circle above you. Exhale, palms over the sternum, down towards the mat. Inhale to sweep them up, fingertips to touch. Exhale, backs of palms together. One more, inhale. And exhale. And straighten the legs and arms. Bring the toes towards each other, hands on the hips. And fold forward. Bring the palms to the earth. The new moon teaches us about humility, being accepting of the times where we are small, because when we're small, we're open to greatness. So accepting wherever you are in this moment or in this phase of your life. Let the spine drip a little deeper towards the crown. Then bring the hands to the hips. Use the core to lift you up. Now we'll face the back of the mat. Left toes forward. Sink into a warrior two to the back of the mat. Expanding out through both arms. Sinking into that front leg. And then straighten the left foot. Bring the right heel in just a tad. Slide the hand down into a triangle pose towards the back of the mat. Can lift up the gaze to the right fingertips, feeling that connection between the moon above and the earth below. And then sweep the right palm to the inside of the foot, like we're drawing up sweet nectar from the ground. Inhale, lifting it up over the collarbones, flowing triangle back to the sky. And exhale, hands to the mat, facing the back of your mat in a low lunge. Plant the palms, slide the left foot back into plank. Always option to bring the knees down here. Otherwise, feel stable through the core. Press into the heels, feeling that connection with the earth below. And then we'll dip about halfway. Hug the elbow tips in. Inhale the heart forward, shoulders back and down. Crown to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the toes. Lift the hips up and back. Releasing and then pausing at the end of the exhale. Feeling the emptiness. And entering into the realm of the heart, asking yourself what you want to nurture this month, what you want to strengthen, what newness you want to bring in. We have the opportunity to be beginners. I'm a beginner, you're a beginner. So let's bring the feet to touch, and we'll take the same side here. Inhale, right leg high. Straighten the right leg. And exhale, right knee into the chest, puffing up the back of the heart. Step the right foot between the hands, left heel plants down. Feel the outer edge of the left heel planting down. Inhale, warrior one to the back of the mat. Reach the fingertips high. And exhale, right hand onto the outer right hip, dip towards the right. Opening the left side body, descending through the shoulder tip. Inhale, hands above you. Exhale to the back, the right side of the mat, heels in, toes wide. Bring the back of the palms together and descend down into temple pose. We'll take 2 circles here. Inhaling the hands above you into a new moon. Exhale, backs of palms descend. Growing into your fullness. And exhale down into your new moon phase. Inhale briefly into star pose. Bring the toes more narrow than the heels, hands to the hips, and fold forward, bringing the palms to the earth. Releasing what you no longer want to bring with you forward. Hands on the hips, use your core to lift you up. Point the left toes to the top of the mat. Descend the left knee over the left heel. Open the arms into warrior two. Feel the weight of the right outer edge of the foot planting down. Straighten the left leg, bring the right heel in. Triangle pose, hand to the shin. Lift the right fingertips high. Inhale as you lift the breath all the way up that right arm. And exhale, hand to the inside of the foot. Bring up that sweet nectar of life. Inhale into your flowing triangle. Exhale, palm to the inside of the foot. One more time, connecting that earth energy to the moon above. Bend the left knee as you bring both of the hands to frame the foot, back to the prominent front. Plant the left palm, slide the left foot back into plank. Stabilizing through your center, through your core. Descending down towards the earth. Inhaling, shining the heart forward. Lifting the crown towards the sky. Exhale, tuck the toes. Float the hips up and back. Descending into the heels. So we took the right foot around the mat. Now we'll start with the left. Bringing the toes to touch. Inhale the left leg high. Bend the knee. Open the hip. Roll out that ankle. Gazing under the forearm. Opening up to possibilities, to the miraculous. One-legged dog. Hips are parallel. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, knee, chest, rounding the spine. Hugging knee in. Exhale, step the left foot through. Right heel to the mat. Inhale, warrior one to the front. Left hand to the outer edge of the hip. Dip over to the left. We're creating vessels for the miraculous to occur. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, temple pose again to the right side. This time we'll bring the hands over the head and draw some moon circles above us, rolling the chest like a cylinder. Feeling stability from the hips down, and feeling the creative juices, the flow from the hips up through the crown. Straighten the legs, toes in. This time we'll interlace the palms, press the heels of the hands together, shoulders in, puff up the heart, and exhale, fold forward. Let the pinkies fall back towards the back of the skull, the moon side, allowing in reflection, contemplation, allowing any dreams to be revealed. Release palms to the earth, hands to the hips. Use the core to lift on up. Right toes forward, warrior two to the back of the mat. Straighten the right leg, triangle pose, hand to shin. The moon in Kabbalah is compared to Malchut, which is both related to the moon and also to the earth. It's a channel. So feeling the ground, the earth beneath you, the moon above you, and that you are a channel for these two great energies. Flowing triangle 2 times with your own breath cycle. And bring both hands, frame the foot, right foot to the back of the mat. Press the palms down, slide it back to plank, pressing into the outer edges of the heels. Chaturanga. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, tuck the toes, lengthen the spine, descending into the heels. Settling here for a moment in down dog, feeling the miraculous nature of the breath. Every inhalation, a new gift of life, a new energy, a new month ahead. And every exhale, a releasing of the old, sinking down and out. Same side, bring the toes to touch. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, bringing the knee, hugging it into the chest, rounding the spine, and stepping the left foot between the hands, right heel down. Inhale, warrior one to the back of the mat. Left hand onto the outer edge of the hip, dip to the left. So these repetitive motions allow us to get deeper and deeper into the pose with every cycle, just like in the phases of the moon. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, heels in, fingertips wide. Sink down into your temple pose, hands over the crown. And this time we'll make those lunar circles to the other way. So if you did right circles to the right, then reverse them to the other way. Like we're outlining the shape of the moon above us. Nice. Straighten the legs, fingertips wide. Hug those toes in, palms behind you. Squeeze the back of the shoulder blades together. Take a deep inhale as you fill up your lungs with breath. And exhale, crown to the earth. Highlighting the back of the skull. Feeling a cool, watery glow. Unlike the sharp contrast of the sun qualities, the lunar is more luminescent, watery, open to change. Release the hands to the mat. Then hold on to the hips. Lift up and bring the right toes forward. Warrior two to the front. Right knee hovering over the right heel. Settle your gaze over the middle fingertips, that right hand, spreading the arms wide. Feeling that warrior of light. And straighten the right leg. Hand to the shin, open up into your triangle. Flowing triangle for a few breaths. Feeling the filling up like the waxing moon and the emptying and the releasing. And bring the palms to the front, low lunge. Slide the right foot back to plank. We're on the ball mounts of the feet. Take a chaturanga as your heart dips towards the earth. Inhale, shining the heart forward, shoulders back and down towards the hips, opening the throat. Exhale, tuck the toes, step it back into your dog. Release yourself fully with the exhale, emptying like an open vessel. Light bend in the knees, hop or jump to the top of the mat, folding forward. Keep the knees nice and light, like a passing lunar shadow. Inhale, sweeping up, big cooling movement, hands over the head. Exhale, hands to the third eye, the space between the forehead. And the new moon is also called the dark moon. So let's visualize a clear black sky in the forehead. Without so much light bombarding us, we have the chance to reset our vision and to open with new eyes, seeing new horizons. So feel that very open sky. And instead of letting external messages infiltrate our desires and our intentions, we'll create an inner vision, seeing yourself from the inside out. So visualize yourself this month, everything you'd like to be. And we'll step to the top of the mat, keeping this vision at the forehead space. Bring the right arm over the left. Backs of palms together, the lunar side, or clap the hands. Right toes spread and plant roots into that right foot, like growing down, descending into the earth. And then wrap the left leg around the right. You can kickstand the toes or wrap them around that ankle. Sink the hips down and squeeze the thighs together. We'll bring the elbow tips forward and up, fingertips to the sky. Opening the back of the heart and keeping that vision firm. So the forearm is splicing the right and the left side of our vision. Keeping the arms wrapped, we'll unravel the left leg and send the left leg back. Right forearms descend towards the ground. Point the left toes. Open the back of the heart. Keep your vision firm. Lengthen the back of the neck. And then bend the right knee, step the left heel back. Eagle arms up to the sky. Letting that inner vision pierce the sky above. And then unveiling the sight, opening the elbows, unveiling the heart, gazing up. Feel the back of the skull pulling to the back of the mat. And fingertips up to warrior one and step forward to the top of your mat. Lift the prayer hands back to the third eye, closing the gates of the eyes to reconnect to your inner vision, your inner sight. In Kabbalah, this is known as our da'at, our point of higher awareness. So under the dark moon, we can create our new visions, our own sight. And releasing the hand, bring the left arm up and over, backs of palms to touch, or clap the hands together. Feel the roots growing down the left. Wrap the right leg around, kickstanding the toes, or wrapping them behind the ankle. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Bring the knees, the elbow tips forward and up. Fingertips towards the moon. Sinking the hips low. And then exhale, kicking the right leg back. Forearms towards the sand or towards the ground below you. Feeling the back of the heart open. Lengthen back of neck. And bend the left knee, right heel down. Gaze to the sky. Unveiling anything clouding over the heart or the gaze. Open the elbow tips. Opening up to possibilities. Then fingertips high. Circle the arms down to the mat. Spin the right heel up. Set it down to plank. We'll take a vinyasa here. Inhaling, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from down dog, we'll slide forward back into plank. We'll bend the knees and we'll lift the hips, sinking the heels down. Inhale forward like a wave. Exhale, hips back and up. And keep going, imagining your body and your breath as waves of the ocean. The moon has a deep pull of the tides. And also the water in our body is impacted by the moon, so we can feel that the waves we give are the waves that come back to us. I invite you to exhale through the back of the throat, feeling the ocean breath, hearing the sounds of the waves. Closing your eyes, feeling the waves transform you. One more wave here. Sinking the heels down, bringing the toes to touch. We'll inhale the right leg high and make a big circle to the right, outer edges of the feet parallel. Inhale, leg up, make some big circles on the exhale. Inhale, straighten the leg, and exhale, right knee to the outer right wrist. Setting up for pigeon here. First, grounding into the mat below you, into your palms. You can gaze over the left shoulder. Make sure the left heel is parallel to the sit bone. Then we'll come down, bringing the third eye, that da'at channel that we opened, setting the forehead on the forearms or on a block if you have, or on the mat beneath you. So this is a perfect pose for the new moon, to ground, to release, and also to activate our higher vision. Continue with that ocean breath if it feels good to you. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the back constriction of the throat, feeling the waves and hearing the sounds of the ocean inside you. Every wave calming you, bringing you waves of peace and of ease. And we'll lift up onto the palms, upward dog spine, gazing forward. Keep the right hip planted and circle the left toes all around you, making a big wide circle, hugging the knee into the chest. Then turning the torso to the left, you can bring the pads of the fingertips behind you and bring the right elbow over the knee, turning over that left shoulder. So the right hand can be high or plant the hand on the heart, connecting with your heart space. And twists help us look back from all the cyclical movement that we've come from, gazing behind us, remembering all of the hardships that we've come through, the dark corners that we've overcome, and the past that's allowed us to be here in the immediacy of this moment. Deepen into your breath. Then turn the torso forward, wrap the left arm, the left leg behind you, lengthening the leg. Tuck the left toes, come back into downward facing dog. We'll take one wave here. Inhaling forward into plank. Exhale, hips back and up. Bring the feet together. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, circle it wide and back in. A few times like that, following your own breath. Stabilizing through the right hip. And inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to outer left wrist. Setting up for pigeon on this back side. Plant the palms, gaze over the right shoulder, making sure the left heel is in line with the left sit bone. Feel the torso absorbing the front prominent space, this element of air, growing the crown towards the new moon above. And then coming down either to the forearms or stacking the arms like a shelf, setting the third eye down to activate your inner vision. And I invite you to close your eyes just to honor the dark moon phase. A perfect opportunity to reset and purify our vision. If the ocean breath was soothing on the other side, go ahead and reactivate that breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the back, constriction of the throat. Allowing in the ebbs and flows of life, like the ups and downs of the waves, the phases of the moon, even our breath cycle resembling the circular and cyclical nature of our being. Lifting up onto the palms, we'll wrap the right leg all the way around, creating a big circle, bringing the foot to the outer edge of that left thigh, hugging the knee into the chest. Make sure both sit bones are planted, so the pelvis is right under the skull, feeling that middle column, a linear channel. And then hug the knee into the chest, wrap the right arm up and over behind you, pads of the fingertips behind you, twisting the torso, gazing over that right shoulder. And this twist, we can think about all of the mothers who came before us. Malchut, the sphira connected to the moon, is the only divine emanation that is feminine in nature. So it's a time to celebrate the feminine and all the mothers who practiced, who welcomed in the new moon with ritual, or who just cycled naturally in their bodies to the moon cycle. We look back and honor the woman who came before us. Bring that left elbow over the top of the knee, deepening into this twist. Left hand onto the heart, sending gratitude, all of our ancestors, and knowing that the healing we do now impacts the souls that came before us, and also heals the souls that will come after us. Breathing fully into the heart. And turning forward, sending the right leg back into your pigeon, lifting up into downward facing dog. Last down dog of this practice, so feel how the circle really transformed you and how you are now at the center of the circle that we created together. And then hop to the top of the mat, bringing the soles of the feet to touch. Holding onto the inside of the feet and butterflying the knees. And the butterfly as the symbol of transformation. And the word for Adam, which is human in Hebrew, is related to dimyon, imagination. So what distinguishes humans from all other creatures is our ability to re-envision our lives and to imagine something even greater, new possibilities for us and for the whole world. So the new moon is an opportune time to visualize and imagine the greatness that can occur and that will occur. And then extend the legs forward. Press the legs into the mat. Inhale the hands above you. And exhale, fold forward. So after we set intentions, after we dream and envision a new reality, then we release our expectations. We let go and we let the cycles of life move us. So wherever in your body you can feel a sense of surrender, of letting go, of softness. And the deeper you get in this forward fold, the more open and available the back of the heart is, the moon side of the heart. So the back of the heart widening like a flower, folding into yourself. And remembering that at all phases of your being, your new moon phase, the back of your heart has always been with you, holding you up in your darkest times. And also celebrating light and life in your full moon phases, in your radiant times. So sending your breath of awareness to the back of the heart. And slowly we'll massage the legs on the way down to your back. If you have a blanket or a prayer shawl that you can bring with you for final relaxation, make sure that it's close. But first we'll do a little back bend, heart opener, by bringing the feet right under the knees and setting the hands behind us, setting up for wheel pose or crescent, making a big open shape with the front body to allow ourselves to feel available for all the newness, all the possibilities. We'll press into the feet and the hands, and we'll lift up through the navel, expanding through the chest, allowing in the radical renewal waiting for us. One more breath. Exhale, slowly descend to the mat, bringing the feet, the soles of the feet together, opening the palms to the sky. If you have a blanket nearby and you'd like to wrap yourself with a blanket, make yourself comfortable. And with your feet to touch, you can also bring pillows under the thighs to support this supine posture. Feeling the palms open to receive. Tapping into the natural rhythm of the breath. Every inhale, we're gifted with a chance of new life. The Tanya calls this Bria Chadasha Mamash, that we become a new creation with every breath cycle. So every inhale, our Creator is breathing life into us through our nostrils, through the breath and neshama, arriving into our center. And every exhalation is like a mini death, a releasing of ego, a surrender, a giving back our life force to the divine. So with every respiration, we have a reincarnation. Tapping into this breath as a way to renew ourselves. Inhale, receiving life. Exhale, a mini death of the old, a letting go. Every breath is like a Rosh Chodesh, chance for renewal. And the intention that we set during this practice, I want you to imagine it as a tiny seed at the top of the heart, just resting on the sternum. And with each breath cycle, that seed descends deeper and deeper through the vessel of the heart to the middle of the heart and landing or falling at the back of the heart, where the heart meets the earth. See your intention grounding down through the back of the heart into the Adama, into the earth below. Knowing that the earth has all the nutrients and all the substances available to nurture and nourish your seed of intention. The whole earth is supporting you. And all we need to do throughout the month is come back to this seed and just water it with our intention and with our love. So feel the rich, moist, nourishing soil absorbing your intention and giving it everything it needs to grow. Bring the hands onto the heart, locking in this intention, letting the rejuvenation of the moon inspire and excite you to start this month with positive awareness. Then we'll roll onto the left side, cradling the head in the arms, right palm onto the earth, like a fetus position. We're beginners, we're beginning anew, we're like newborns entering this month with new eyes. And we'll push up into a seat, keeping the hands on the heart, dipping the chin towards the chest. Taking a few breaths, nourishing your heart space. Release the hands, and I encourage you to light a candle, if you have one, next to your mat, and say aloud your intention for the month, whether it's just a word or a phrase or a feeling or a prayer or a song, whatever it is, say it out loud as you light your candle to really bring it into this physical realm. And even though we'll end together now, I encourage you to spend 5, 10, or 15 minutes free writing, journaling about your intentions and your dreams for this upcoming month. So we'll end by just sensing the moon above us, the moon that's connecting all of us together right now. Wherever you're practicing this moment of connection, holding us all together under the light of the moon, and honoring the circles that unite us all. So thank you so much for practicing, and Chodesh Tov.